And joining me now is health and wellness expert Dr. Pam Smith to discuss how our jobs can make us fat. Good morning, Dr. Smith.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
I am fantastic. Luckily with my job now, I have a lot of freedom. I don't have to be in the office very often. A lot of my show stuff takes place from home or, on my cell phone. So my options for movement and getting out of the office are pretty darn good. But some people don't have that option. Which careers tend to make people pack on the pounds?
Well, believe it or not, a lot of careers do. It doesn't have to be just people who have a sedentary job at their desk every day. Even sometimes construction workers and people working on the line, etc., have stress. And when you have stress, that will pack on the pounds as well.
One of the things that I always have trouble with, and as a matter of fact, I did it to my coworkers this morning. I walked in and plopped down a loaf of banana bread that I made and said, here you go, I made banana bread. You guys help yourself. Office environments sort of lend themselves to maybe unhealthy eating habits, don't you think?
They do, and part of that is our view of food. Most of us view food as love and caring and all of those kind of things, which it is. But really, food is all about communication to the other cells. So when you make better food choices, then the body cells communicate better.
And what can people do if they find themselves in a situation where they've recognized, these pants that I bought for work, obviously the dry cleaner shrank them because they're too tight now. I mean, how do you address this?
That is a really good question. The first thing people should do is to never buy a larger size of clothes. Most of us gain a little bit of weight. And if we keep the same size of clothes in our closet, then when we pack on a couple of pounds, our clothes feel tight. We don't want to eat as much, and it's a good cue to us. Because honestly, most of my patients nor I usually get on a scale. I can tell from my clothes if I'm eating a little too much, and it does make you decrease your intake.
Wow, that is, I just have this vision of all these people walking around like little stuffed sausages in their pants if they don't ever buy a bigger size. But I guess that's one way to do it.
It certainly is. And really, even sitting at your desk, you can move your feet, you can do breathing exercises. All of those kind of things burn some calories.
So essentially just get up when you can. And maybe I was talking to someone yesterday. I have now joined the Fitbit cult, and I have a Fitbit. And I was talking to someone else that had a Fitbit, and we were kind of having this conversation. But it really does make you more conscious of the fact that, okay, I need to go take a bathroom break, but instead of just going straight to the bathroom, I'm going down the flights of stairs, walking across the building, walking up the flights of stairs, and then coming back to the bathroom. And if you're, like for me, that, 400 steps, it's those little things that motivate you. I mean, it doesn't have to be that big a deal, does it?
It does not. The same thing when you park your car. I try and always park my car far away from the store that I'm going to go into, and that just makes me walk longer. And if I walk fastly, it burns a lot of calories.
Are there any careers that people seem to gain weight the most? Like, okay, if you're going into this field, maybe you need to be paying attention a little bit more than, say, the construction worker that you mentioned before who's getting a lot of physical activity.
Well, certainly people that sit at the desk all day long. So a great tip is every hour that you're at the desk, plan on getting up for 5 minutes and doing something else where you're actually moving.
Oh, that seems simple enough.
It is simple.
How, if it seems so simple, why are we all so fat?
Well, I don't think we're all really fat, but there's a few things that you can do to sort of tip the scale a little bit in a positive direction. For example, the food hummus is really good for you. Hummus is made from chickpeas, and it helps insulin work better in your body, so it helps to burn some of those calories. Instead of putting hummus on bread, put hummus on celery or dip in some green pepper, red pepper, yellow pepper. Just those kind of small changes will help you not gain weight or even lose.
Well, I know that, the radio industry that I've been in for almost 20 years now, there seemed to be, this is like this is like a mecca for junk food. Because, people are working weird hours, and we have the snack machine downstairs, and it just seems like this, for whatever reason, and maybe it's other industries too, and I'm just not knowledgeable about it. But does it seem like it's almost like a culture in some industries to, live off Mountain Dew and energy drinks and things like that?
Well, certainly it is. And the medical profession is one of the worst. Hospitals and doctors' practices, et cetera, are places where people bring in food all the time. Honestly, myself, I just make a rule that I don't get into it at all. I bring my own lunch. Or another good tip is if you're going out to lunch, don't look at the menu. I never look at the menu. Decide what you want to eat, some sort of protein and a nice salad, or protein and a vegetable that's not as much potatoes, rice, and corn. I don't let them put bread on my table very often. I'll get into that. I just don't let them bring it to me. You're paying for the food, so instead of looking at the menu, decide what you want to eat before you go in and order that.
God, Dr. Smith, you sound like you have a much more willpower than I do.
It's really not a question of willpower. I really do have a sweet tooth. My personal favorite is chocolate. It's just that now, if I eat chocolate, I eat less than I did before. That doesn't mean I stopped eating chocolate. I just eat less.
Well, health and wellness expert Dr. Pam Smith, you sound like you not only talk the talk, but walk the walk as well, and we should all work a little harder to make that happen. I appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you. We're all a work in progress.
Yeah, amen to that. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk to you again soon.